And welcome into our playthrough today. Well, so let's talk about what we're going to do. So the first playthrough I did on the channel we did as Canada, and the Canada playthrough took about 290 turns, and we did a culture win. It was fun. As the first one from being from a Canadian, it was kind of on point to use Canada. The last playthrough we just did, we were Russia, and we bursted through really quick with, again, a culture win. On turn like 190. Instead, I think what we're going to do today is focus in on being aggressive. And I had a couple of thoughts to maybe do like an Alexander or maybe a Genghis Khan. But what strikes me to do today actually is let's play as Germany. Let's play as Frederick Barbarossa. He has the Holy Emperor, Roman Emperor, additional military policy slot, and I get +7 at combat strength when attacking city-states. So I never really concentrate on destroying the city-states. I usually try to keep them alive, so this might be kind of interesting depending on what the map brings up. Free imperial cities. Each city can be built one more district than normal, which is really good for going tall. My unique boat is replaces a submarine. It's kind of later into the game, and I don't think it's going to come into this game very much. I have my own unique district, which is the Hansa, which replaces the industrial district. So it'll be cheaper to make, and I get a little bit extra bonus production for adjacent commercial hub, aqueduct, canal, and dam. So it's very important to build a bunch of things to increase the production. So we're going to go with high production yields and maybe science as our initial districts, but the cities should get much larger in order to get more districts. Game modes, we're going to go with barbarian clans so that more and more city-states pop up in the world. Again, I'm going to throw in heroes and legends. I do really enjoy this. It just kind of adds some spice, and maybe early game, instead of going a Nazi, maybe we go somebody else in attack. We'll throw secret societies on. I'm going to keep monopolies and corporations off. I don't find that really comes into play very much for me, so I'm going to leave that off for now. And I thought about some of these other things, but it doesn't really interest me for this specific gameplay. Options, nothing crazy. Deity, standard speed. Victory conditions, I thought about turning culture off just so that I couldn't do culture for the third time in a row, but we'll leave everything on so that way the computer could win in a culture victory. And for map, I chose primordial. A primordial map is much more volatile. A map from early times with unpredictable continents and islands. More volatile conditions exist with extra coastal lowlands and volcanoes. So it's going to make some more interesting placements. I might not be able to get all the adjacencies that I'm really looking for. But of all the different map types, I don't think I've ever done a primordial map, so why not? We'll keep it small for 6 players, abundant, everything, blah, 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 standard stuff, and let's go see what the map can bring us. Let's see what this start gives us as Germany. Little lake, deer tiles are super nice. Be a very productive start. Not a ton of food, and I believe this is coastline. So not only do we have a lake here, we have coast. Actually, that's actually ocean too. Let's move up on a hill here with this warrior and take a quick look. Nothing really crazy. So what tile to settle on? Plains Hill gives a 2-2 tile. So not a lot of growth to start, but yeah, I got a pretty good city to start with. So we'll go to like a 2-scout opener and see what the world shows us. There's Geneva and Isles of Minerva. Are we first meet on them? We are. Geneva is so your cities earn 15% science whenever you are not at war. So this is going to be a really good opening civ to or city-state to get suzerainty of. So why not appoint a Nazi, and we will start the or Amani, sorry, and start the tour. Try to push for a golden age. And we are actually close to the north of the map. So I should focus on settling or exploring south. Well, we discovered Crater Lake. I'm not quite... Oh, taken by Johannesburg. Interesting. It would be really nice to have. That would really change the way the game started if I got that in my capital. But we've now already become suzerain of to Geneva. We have rediscovered any tribal villages up here in the north? Not yet. So let's keep going on with the Amani tour and go to Johannesburg. Keep the air score rolling. And up here we should have a tribal village with our warrior. And we have void singers. Awesome. I think that's the way we're gonna go. Now it doesn't give me another one, but void singers would allow me to get zombies. Vampires. So that's something we'll probably think about doing here really soon, and it'll boost our capital really quickly. Let's get our second scout over this way. We're still several turns away from growing because we have very poor food in the start. So actually, let's change production in the city and get off of a 4-1 tile and go to a 2-2 tile to try to grow. As far as what to make, we could go a third scout. Why not? Now, here is the thing about this start. As Germany, I generally try to push towards science and production. However, we have the opportunity to rush a religion. So why not take that opportunity? The start has given us a wonder start here on Johannesburg, so let's take advantage of that and try to get a religion down. Is anybody actually earning any great people points yet for profits? Doesn't appear so. So maybe that's something we could do. I've never actually had my own religion as Germany before. Another tribal village here to the east, and a new population. Excellent. So we could go to settler. I picked monument, and I'm going to keep on the monument in case we find a hero that I just can't live without. There's Wilford, Mr. Premier of Canada. An honor to meet you, kind sir. I'm going to go potentially quite chill to start, I think. I think in this world where I'm Germany, I need to like concentrate on getting better before I can go to war. Like I need to get my science up. So maybe not until like turn 100 or so before we ever go to war. There is a tribal village up here to the north, so let's try to get to that with this guy. Looks like Canada is potentially pinned off here from advancing to the west with this mountain. Maybe there's a little bit of pass. Barb camps are starting to spawn in. And all these warriors over here, we met Nazca, and all these warriors have been like really damaged, so I think they took it to another Barb camp. Looks like we've got, actually there's a really good Petra town here by this sheep. That's all, there's a lot of desert hills there, so that's going to be a really good Petra city. We've already got a normal age, so maybe we're not going to get stuck in a dark age anyways. First dilemma, I could get a devotion to Arthur and grab my scouts and go over and try to conquer Canada right now. I don't know that that's a really huge help to me. I think instead what I'll do is a second settler, because it's going to take over 8 turns to get over there anyhow. So let's try to get a second city out, and actually let's go towards a holy site. First government, and there's no real question. I've got 2 military slots because I'm Germany. I get an extra one, so both cards go in. And then God King for Pantheon. I don't know what Pantheon I'm looking for in the start. I think that's something I might go by the seat of my pants. Probably something like Divine Right. There's no, I mean, there's some camps, nothing crazy. If I can get like adjacency with woods, but I don't think that's really a thing. There is astrology, so we can now put down a holy site. There's no more Barb camps up there. I'll just keep going south. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot more space here. We'll follow this noodle down to the southeast, or southwest. I should put the holy site out now. No suitable spot. I think it's because I need to actually be able to get rid of woods before I can put one down. I need another tribal village, and we have Hercules. Okay, that does change what I want to do. We'll get Hercules. Actually, Herc can wait. Is anybody earning great people points yet? No. Once they do, we'll get him knocked out. Well, we get our settler out. Where to send him, though? I've got a couple attacks I put down. Again, they're off by a little bit, but I think up here towards a desert, it's going to be a really cool spot for Petra, but that's going to be like a third city type of deal. Second city, I usually like to keep a little bit closer to me. But as far as fresh water, I'm going to be down here on the coast, and that's like 12 turns away, and then this is only going to be 8 turns away. So unfortunately, I think what I'll do is I'm going to settle up here on this ocean that's really a lake. That's a grasslands hill. I want a plains hill. Yeah, it's a hard call. I can settle all along the ocean on this side. But there's a good city. Let's go to the best city there. And then over here towards Canada to get some horses, actually. Let's go over in this mess and nonsense. And we get a little bit of faith from me in here too. We'll settle on the horses. Try to capture that land from Canada before they come over here and take all my space. Canada does have a lot of units here rolling around on the north. I don't know what they're trying to do. Let's get bronze working for the iron. And take a look at the tree here. Usually what I do is I beeline up here to get to apprenticeship. And then go like apprenticeship for the man-at-arms. And then go up to stirrups to get knights. Is usually the way I go as far as military. But this is kind of a strange start for me. Why don't we backfill a little bit and get some science? Next thing to build an Anshin is, let's get the holy site down and see if that helps us to get a religion. We do have a +3 here. We'd have to buy the tile. I don't know if that's going to mess up things like industrial site adjacency, but let's go here anyways and go a strange, weird Germany religious build. There's the holy site. Let's see if we are still the first person at it. Canada is. Excellent. Perfect. And just as I'm trying to sneak in here with my settler, there is a scout that's appeared. I hope that they can get to him. I'm too much of a chicken. I'm going to backtrack and go to here. Another tribal village next turn. It should be an interesting spot down here, actually, for a campus. We have our first city down. Let's get a trade route really good and try to get the city up a little bit. So I'll try to do like a settler and then do something to make the city better. There's Coupe. We'll see if Coupe is looking for some religion. He doesn't normally go for religion. Oh, but we found another scout for some reason. We're pretty well out of area to scout. I think we're on an island here now. So let's take this scout and click over here somewhere and just see where he goes. And then we'll send him to random once he gets over there. Next turn here, and I mean... Canada is getting, and now somebody other than me is getting holy points as well. So we might not get first religion. So I'm assuming Feed the World will go. But maybe we can get something like reliquaries or something like that. I don't know. And Coupe settled on the tip of the island. Yeah, so we're on a complete island. Interesting. So these scouts are almost useless now. The first time I get like a 4 scout start and they're virtually useless. Johannesburg actually did some work. So let's settle on these horses for city number 2. scouts can now go random because there's no place for them to go anyways. And I almost forgot that we have found Hercules. So let's see if he's still available. He is. I mean, it's kind of hard to pass him up. And if we're going faith, I'll be able to recall him in the future. So let's get Hercules before, and then we can start pumping out like campuses. Holy site number 2, and we'll use Hercules to get this. We have +1s is not really good. But in the meantime, and let's not bother wasting our time working on that, we'll get a monument up. Here is our Pantheon. We have Dance of the Aurora. We could get that from Canada. Might be kind of decent. There is a bunch of snow up north, but I don't know. River Goddess. There are a couple of rivers that I will be settling on, but I don't find that does really a whole lot. Monument to the Gods. Good, get a couple of wonders. I sleep on that quite a bit. That 50% actually helps a lot. Divine Spark is one of my favorites. Lady of the Reeds and Marshes. I don't think I have a whole lot of reeds and marshes. Yeah, there's not a whole lot here. There's a couple of good cities in the desert, though. Goddess of the Sea, production on fishing boats. I don't really plan on settling coastally. It might help. Open Sky, Goddess of the Hunt from camps. There's a fair amount of camps. So far, nothing's really like jumping at me. Two faiths from mines, production faith from strategic resources. Nah, initiation rights, 50% for barbs. Camps cleared. Huh, maybe. Fertility rights. I do like fertility rights just to make your cities faster. On faith from tiles with breathtaking appeal. Now I'm going to be doing a whole lot of industrial zones and mines in this game, so the appeal is going to keep dropping as the game goes on. But there's potentially a lot of faith here right now. At least for like 3 or 4 cities. So that would be like 10 faith I could potentially get, even if in an inter. That might get me a couple of settlers actually. So let's do this. A strange thing to do, but let's do Earth Goddess, huh? I don't think I would have ever thought to have picked that. First charge of Hercules in my second city gives me a second holy site. Should bump us up a little bit here. Again, I don't think we'll get first profit. Canada's already halfway there. But even like, honestly, if Canada gets Feed the World, I might just let him give it to me. His campus is unlocked. Let's destroy this tribal village or a barbarian clan to get the era score. There's 3. That puts us at 23. We can then go to Anshin and let's put down a campus. We've got a decent +3 under the volcano. Of course, not the best place to have one. But I want to get science quickly. I don't want to be left behind by the AI. So we're just going to space the troops out here a little bit just to try to keep barb camps from spawning in. And see if we can start to expand into this area. Yeah. Next thing would be to see if we have any iron and currency. So we made a trade route, so we have that boosted. But we don't have a lot of science yet, so we're not really able to push. I would like to pick up the Petra under mathematics, but that's a long ways away. I built 3 different specialty districts. When I click on apprenticeship, what does it show me? 4 away. I like this route. I like that route. We'll go archery, horseback riding, current. Yeah, that's a good route. The era is going to end in 10 turns. And I was going to use Hercules here, but honestly, the Ancient is building it so quick anyways. Let's not waste the production on that. And our warrior was sadly killed by that stupid bar boat in the ocean. Not very kind to him to do that. 3 era score for our campus. So we have a golden age going into the next era. Very good, very good. So let's start thinking about settlers. The faith in gold isn't really helping. And I think that's fine for now. I would like to get Magnus appointed to the capital and start making settlers there so that I can get... not worry about losing the population. Where can we make a campus? Over here. +1 isn't a super... Like, that's a very bad campus. Don't get me wrong. But I just need to get stuff out. So let's put the campus here and potentially a harbor there. It's not a plus anything, but it's great people points. See, we're getting a little bit of faith in our capital from our Pantheon. That's not bad. So we'll get a settler or two from it. In Anshin, let's get because we don't have very much food. Let's get a settler in 6 to start the next era. Yes, we need to get cities. I don't want to be left behind in the dust with cities. That's generally the problem I have. Is I'll be stuck on 4 or 5, and then the AI is up to 10. We could buy the mining, but let's save the gold to potentially buy a settler or 2. And let's get Magnus with his first promotion. I need another governor charge yet, so that I don't lose pop. But let's send him to the capital, and we'll push for cities out here to take up the space while the fog of war is lifted. Quick update on the religion. Canada has actually grabbed Catholicism, and they picked choral music. Not what I'm interested in at all. So let's not try to get stuck with that. Food growth would really help, so feed the world if I can get it. If I look at great people, for profits, we are next in line for sure for religion. Scientists, we are second in line behind Coupe. So Coupe probably has 3 cities or 4 cities. Let's take a look. If we go here and we go to trade, you can see how many cities. He's got 4 cities because he has these 3 plus his capital. You can't trade away your capital. So he probably has like 3 campuses with some pretty decent adjacency. But we have horses we could trade. Let's I'll do some trades off camera and see if we can get the gold up a little bit and maybe buy a couple things in the next era. Age. I guess we're gonna go monument. We don't even have the 2nd tier government yet. I don't think we need to change anything yet. Yeah, no. Here, let's just back off from the volcano a hair so I don't get singed so badly. Leave that guy there to fog bust. And what's our dedication going to be? We have free inquiry, which would be good, pen brush, which would be good, but monumentality. Plus movement for builders may purchase civilian units with faith. Builders and sellers are 50% cheaper to purchase with faith and gold. So if that means we can get 1 or 2 more settlers out this era and potentially get up to 10 cities, if we can get to 10 cities before turn 100, we're going to be in really good shape. We have another, we can go to Granada and actually send an Amani over on the great Amani tour. To get suzerainty there and hopefully get another golden age in the next era as well. I've got 1 more charge left on Hercules, and Hercules is going to make us probably a campus. City number 3, Berlin, is going to be started, but thank goodness for these volcano tiles. Where in Earth can we put a holy site? We have a +3 there on the volcano tiles. I didn't really want to use the volcano tiles for that, but I'm assuming that the campus as well is probably the same tiles. So we'll do a holy site on this one and a campus on this one, and keep the center two for like making the city better. Once we get to a Petra, it won't be that big a deal. But let's get the holy site down because I think we're going to get feed the world. And we'll make that right away. And there's no sense in me really removing Hercules yet because I don't have the faith to recall him. So there's no sense in deleting him yet. Oh, goodness gracious. The little bit of faith would be nice, but not super necessary. There's another suzerainty. So we're getting era score again. Unlocked craftsman, so we can... I think we're going to have to build some settlers as well. Like, I'm not going to be able to buy all of them. So let's keep that in. That's going to be the biggest thing until we get a holy site adjacency, which would help us boost that through, get some more faith. Next turn, we'll buy another settler and start coming around down south, I think. Well, there's the end of Hercules. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. But we can now make commercial hubs, which will give a great adjacency bonus to our industrial sites. And now we can also pick our second tier government, which is going to be what? Oligarchy would give us more melee strength. Production towards wonders or great person. Let's go with classical republic and try to get more great scientists. So on top of getting production towards settlers, let's get production towards builders for what we build. I mean, we're not going to be making a whole bunch of them. Let's get 2 extra gold, and maybe we can get a couple of, buy a couple of things and great scientist points. 5 discipline, 5 combat units against barbarians. That's probably fine. It's just a very generic government. We should have the faith to buy another settler next turn. Here's our first great scientist. Oh yeah, Euclid triggers Eureka's moment for mathematics and 1 random technology from the medieval era. So let's recruit him. Let's send him to here. And Ken, does that unlock mathematics? I guess that's the Eureka anyways. So right now we are on apprenticeship in 23 turns. Let's get mathematics in the meantime before we get that. The industrial zones will help, but we'll do that second after mathematics. No. And then we'll go to knights after that. Kind of a slow city number 4 down here to the south. I went potentially off of coast just so that I don't get destroyed by barbs because they're trying to eat my face. We get the monument and try to get a couple more great people. I'm waiting for the right great person to pop up here. I think by the time that Anansi comes up, he might have already been taken by another AI. City number 5 up here to the north, and there's a volcano for me to use for tiles. If I go here, I could go 1, 2, 3. I could put another city there. So let's cross the river and put a city there actually next turn. Let's get Geneva back for that science if we can get her. And actually we can put Nancy there now because we don't need a Nancy for the points. We could use her actually, or Amani, sorry. We could use her for the actual benefit of having Geneva on side. City number 5. City number 6. So 6 cities by turn 75 isn't bad. We'll get another one here in 5 turns. And can we buy one anytime soon? 320. Ugh. And 600. Ugh. We might get it might be kind of rough to actually get to 10. We'll have to build them, I think. There's mathematics, so we're going to try to get Petra right away. I think it's going to kind of be fun. I see Canada's trying to destroy my religion. Honestly, I'm not super fussed about my religion. There's an unmet player that's got Feed the World that I'm really interested in. mine can go away if need be, but I don't really want to waste the money to buy a tile, but I want to get started on Petra right away, so we'll spend it there. And we'll get a builder. How much are the builders? Builders are pretty cheap, 70, to try to chop that out a little bit. I'm not waiting 56 turns. Yeah, let's get a builder. There's the announcement. The era is going to end in 10 turns, and that's going to be a good spot for us to call the episode, I feel. We've got a decent start here in the meantime, but now we have to worry about era score. So I'm going to do anything I can do to get me a little bit of era score. That was 1. This great scientist should be number 2. So we're still 5 points away, so I kind of have to stop and build some units, I think. Actually, this city has a library, doesn't it? Yeah. So we need to send him to Berlin, actually. I believe this is city number 7, and we'll go here. Yes. Not a bad spot. We get a couple of these tiles with science on them, and it'll grow eventually. It'll grow eventually, and we've pretty well pardoned off this whole island. I don't think we're going to get another settler before the end of the era. We are currently at 3 points away from a golden age, from a dark age, that is. Sorry, 405 and 810. Yeah, there's no way. So let's get some builders with the rest of our faith. 1 builder here in the capital. Yeah. And then we can afford maybe 1 more. I levied where I could levy. I bought some units where I could buy some units. And I just couldn't find the era score. It's very strange. I usually don't have a trouble with an era score once I get to a religious play. But we're still... Actually, Dark Age isn't bad. It'll allow us to go into a heroic age to win the game. There is the era, and we are going into a dark age. And I think that might have actually pushed us through, because that would have been a technology from another era. But we have unlocked our Hansas, which are going to be a huge boost to us. We'll go through this turn before we end the episode. 5 combat for fighting barbs. We don't really need that anymore. Let's go with limes, or limes. As far as economic slots, settler is good. Builders is good too, but I want the charges on the builders. So we really need to start boosting some things up. We'll do production in each city. 2 influence points is fine, because I need to get seaworthy before I can find more of the world out. And Dark Age wildcards. So Twilight Valor, +5 combat strength for all melee attacks, but can heal outside. You cannot heal outside of your own territory. That could be interesting if and when we do go to war, and that might be the way for us to boost, is to go like maybe knock on Canada's door. Inquisition, start Inquisition with 1 apostle charge. All religious units get 15 plus religious combat strength. Would be very good if I get my temples out, so I can actually buy apostles. Domestic trade routes, I don't have very many, and plus 75% science in your cities with a holy site, but -5 culture. Let's go there. And let's pick our dedication. Free inquiry, get 1 era score each time you trigger Eureka. That's going to be very strong. Penbrush, we're going to have no culture now, so I'm not worried about Penbrush. Monumentality, 1 era score every time you construct a new specialty district, which should be good because we now have like 8 cities and we're going to need districts in all of them. And then Exodus, gain 2 era score each time you convert a city to your founded religion for the first time. So we could actually use our faith to convert Canada, but we only really have Canada, so let's go free inquiry. It might have been smarter to go fight Canada, but I don't have the faith output to buy all of the missionaries. They've had like 30 missionaries. It's been pretty crazy. As far as the culture tree, military training, it's fine. We have another governor. Let's get Pingala, and we'll appoint him to our second city in Mainz, and try to get him promoted. Builder, we finally made one builder. Let's get some of these camps and stuff up and running. Finally, I haven't spent any building charges at all. So there's the end of the episode. We've only found 2 cities, or 2 civs. Science-wise, we're actually lower than them, and culture-wise, we're worse than them. As far as winning conditions, we're last in science. We're second to last, and yeah, so we're a long ways off. But we have the infrastructure in cities. Now it is the matter of building science in all of them and teching up. And then once we get teched up, we can start doing domination. So that should be fun. So thank you guys all for watching. We will see you in the next episode where we try to take over the world.